Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I took a poll on Instagram which video you guys would like to see, and a lot of you said my birthing story. I guess let's just get started. Everything started July 2nd, which is kind of like July 3rd because it was around 11:30 to midnight. I started to get cramping when I was trying to go to bed in like my stomach. I was 34 weeks and a day. I was thinking, maybe I'm just cramping because I am 34 weeks and I could be giving, like, my body was getting ready to give birth. Not that it was going into birth, but it was getting ready to give birth. Your body is going through a lot of changes. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to sleep it off. So I went to bed around 12 and I woke up the next morning around 10 a.m. and I woke up and the cramping was still kind of happening, and by all means I still honestly did not know that it was contractions because this was my first child, so I didn't know like what to expect, what contractions would feel like. Everyone said it was a tightening, that it would hurt. For me personally, everyone has a different experience. It just felt like I had normal cramps, or like Braxton Hicks. I didn't really think anything of it, but my significant other told me that I should probably go in and go to the doctor just to make sure that everything was okay. We got in the car, we started driving. Every time he went over a bump, my contraction hurt so much worse. We get to the ER and I check in and I tell them that I'm started getting cramping last night and I'm 34 weeks and 1 day pregnant, and the nurse told me, okay, we'll send you straight up to the birthing observation room. They're up in the birthing room at my hospital. There's like birthing observation room where if you think you're going in labor, correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong, but if you think you're going into labor or you're slowly going into labor, they'll bring you into the observation room where they'll monitor you and like see how many centimeters dilated you are. If you're not enough, they'll send you home, but if you are enough, then they will send you to the birthing room. So I went up to the birthing observation room. We were waiting in the observation room, and my significant other called our work because we both worked at the same place at the time, and told them that we were going to the doctors just to see if everything's okay. I've just been having some cramping, but we think everything's fine and that we'll be into work after our doctor's appointment. They checked me out and I was already 8 centimeters dilated. And when they said, like, the nurse looked at me and she's like, wow, you're 8 centimeters dilated, you could give birth at any minute. And I was like, what? Like, I started instantly, like, my mind, I was excited, but like I was also so scared. They got me all hooked up to all their monitors and they checked out the baby. Baby was fine. They asked me if I wanted an epidural and I told them yes. Since I was 34 weeks pregnant, they had to give me a shot in my stomach that was to help my son's lungs develop. It takes 12 hours for it to fully work. It was already around like 11:30 when I got the shot done, and I was so scared to get my epidural. I was freaking out because you have to like sit in this position and lean over and you gotta stay very still, and I was terrified. I didn't have my parents there to like hold me through it, but I also kind of wanted to be in the room alone so I could get it done Obviously I had the nurses in the room, which were like so extremely nice. And while I was like scared to get my epidural, this one nurse was like, you know what, this is gonna be nothing, it's a little pinch. She's like, you already were 8 centimeters dilated, and she's like, you made it through such a breeze, like you can make it through this. And I couldn't be more thankful for her, because she was so nice and really helped me through that. And I called everyone up and I told them like, hey, I'm kind of giving birth. Then we waited. After I got the epidural, my labor slowed down pretty significantly. I was 8 centimeters until pretty much after midnight, because I started dilating around probably 11:30 again at night. And then at 12 they're like, we need to break your water to make everything start flowing, because the shot that they gave me already stayed for 12 hours. Came in and broke my water, and that was an experience on its own. It was so weird because since I already had the epidural, I really didn't feel it. I just looked down and there was water everywhere. So after that, everything started to progress. About 30 minutes later, they came and checked me, and they're like, yep, you're 10 centimeters dilated, let's get pushing. So probably around 12:30 I started pushing, and I pushed for 2 long hours. I guess, like, talk about everyone in my room. It was pretty packed. For a preemie baby, you need like, you know, your nurses, and then your doctor, and then also you need your the NICU team to help. So like when you give the baby, they can do the right things to make sure that your baby's fine. So, and then I also had my significant other. I had his mom, my stepmom, and my real mom. And so my room was pretty jam-packed, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, because you know, my mom's support group is amazing, and if I didn't have them there with me to help while I was pushing, I don't know what I would have done, and I don't know what I would have done without my significant other helping me. He literally held my back up like my whole time pushing for 2 hours, because for some reason we didn't put my bed up. But anyways, he's definitely my rock. I pushed and I pushed and I pushed, and then finally after an hour and a half pushing, they're like, okay, like what's going on? And they decided to like take a little break, and they looked and just to like feel around and see like what's going on with the baby. And because basically what was happening was like I was pushing and his head was just like playing peekaboo a little bit. It just kept going in and out and in and out. And so what they found out when they looked is that his leg was like up by his head. So when I kept pushing and pushing, his leg kept hitting my pelvis and like would only let him go a certain amount. Then they decided to make the decision to cut me. Literally minutes after they cut it, he came right out. My significant other cut his umbilical cord, and they put him on my chest for 2 minutes or 2 seconds, not even, maybe like a minute. He wasn't able to like stay on my chest for very long, because since he was early, he didn't know how to quite regulate his temperature. Then they had to put him in his little incubator, just like to make sure everything's okay. They had to hook him up. He was able to use his lungs fully when he was born and did not need any oxygen, which is really great and cool. Having a NICU baby or a preemie baby was such an amazing journey for not only like me, but like for my family as a whole, for me and my significant other. It definitely made us stronger, and I wouldn't change it for the world. There wasn't actually, like, once I think about it, I don't know for sure because I haven't had like an actual full term birth. But there wasn't much of a difference, I don't think. The only thing that was different was the shot that they gave me to help develop his lungs, and obviously he couldn't stay on my chest as long, and he wasn't in our room. He could stay in our room after we gave birth to him. He had to be in his own NICU room. That is my birthing video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you like this content. In the comments below, tell me what videos you guys would like to see next, and also what I can do to improve, what you guys didn't like, what you guys did like about this video, because, you know, that will help me grow as a channel. Bye!